bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Our guest this hour is Kit Jackson with Hospice for Utah. Welcome, Kit. Nice to have you here. You are the founder of Hospice for Utah?
I am.
Is that accurate?
I am.
Let's get right into it here. When is it time for hospice care?
Boy, that's a tough question. It's something that people often try to stay away from because they think that having hospice means that they're giving up hope. In hospice, actually, we have to have two physicians that say, if this disease took its normal progression, would this person most likely expire within the next 6 months? And boy, we don't know, and physicians really don't know.
6 months, is that the trigger point where people should seek hospice, or, I mean, what's magic about 6 months?
There's really nothing magic about it, and we can keep people on much longer than 6 months, although most of our patients aren't on even close to 6 months. But around 6 months is when you start to see things like weight loss, and people are losing some of their physical abilities, some cognitive abilities. Oftentimes they are just spending more time in bed. You see some depression. You know, they're going in to see their primary care physician more often for just minor things, infections, upper respiratory infections. So you just start to see that ball start to roll a little bit. It doesn't have to be a deathbed situation that you call in hospice for. Really, we're here to help people live well until they die. We're not so much here to just help people die.
Is hospice originated from a physician or from the family?
I'd say most often it comes from the family, and sometimes from a caregiver. We do have to have a physician's order, and oftentimes that's what the hospice does for the patient. When they call in or a caregiver calls in and we get the family together, then we contact the physician. Or if the patient doesn't have a physician, we can provide that for them.
You mentioned people oftentimes don't want to do hospice or feel like they don't want to because they're giving up.
Yes.
How does a person talk to a loved one about needing hospice care? It would seem to me that the family then is saying, well, you're on your way out, Dad, so.
Right. It is tough, and it is one of the reasons people don't have that conversation. I can't tell you how many times I've come into a home and the family has said, don't tell them they're dying. And I go in to see the patient, and the patient says, don't tell my family, but I'm dying. And I think we need to get everybody in together, because oftentimes everybody really does want to talk about it, but they're just afraid. They don't know how to start that conversation.
Well, dying, of course, is part of life,
Yes.
and so it comes around. But people are afraid of it, I guess.
It's the big unknown, of course, you know. But I think having hospice there with them, where they know that our people have been with many, many people when they've died, and we can help them on that journey to make sure that they're comfortable, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually, that their needs are being met there.
Help with the journey. That's an interesting phrase. Hospice is as much for the family as it is for the person who's dying, is it not?
Absolutely it is. In fact,
more so.
Even more so, because after the death, we provide bereavement support for the family for up to a year afterwards, not just in groups, but individually when they're having trouble, to help people know what is normal afterwards, and really what is normal before the death, too. People are going through a real emotional journey during that time, and I think oftentimes they wonder, you know, am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? You know, do I really have to avoid people? People are avoiding me. And we are here to help them on that journey too, and to help really our communities understand, what do people need to talk about at this time?
How do people get information about hospice? They can contact you. We're just about out of time, Kit.
Yes.
So.
They can contact us. They can go to our website and get more information, and then give us a call from there. We can come out and talk to them. There's no charge for it at all.
Okay, terrific. Thank you, Kit, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Our guest has been Kit Jackson with Hospice for Utah, and I'm Don Olson for Comcast Newsmakers.